weeks. So we try to get there in front, try to figure out what are the pitfalls that you may encounter and how we can help you through the process. That being said, I do want to tell you a little bit more about the organization, and then I'm going to go through some recommendations, give you some updates of what's out there already, and the tools that can help you through the process. And then, as Jen said, we'll open it up to some Q&A, and I'll try my best to answer questions. I will tell you there may be times that I'm going to defer you to a site or tell you you're better off getting information from a particular entity just to make sure you have the most updated information. So the New Jersey Small Business Development Center is a network. It's part of a national organization, which means you could find an SBDC throughout the whole United States. We are funded in part by the Small Business Administration. We are considered one of their technical support. And I say one of because they also help fund SCORE, Women's Center for Entrepreneurship, I believe they also help fund as well. And what we do is we assist small business owners. We do it throughout the year, not just during difficult times. So our particular center was part of the pilot program when it first came to New Jersey. So while the association itself is celebrating 40 years, we're actually celebrating 42 years. Because we were part of the start of it in New Jersey. We've been around. Our particular center has been around for, I believe it's going almost on 44 years. So really, we not just the network that started it, but ahead of the network itself. So what do? We make sure that through our confidential counseling, which is at no cost to you ever, we try to figure out how is it that we can help your business. So today we're going to talk about this disaster that we're going through, right? How is it that we can assist you through that process? But I want you to understand something. We're here today to talk about this disaster, but this disaster is not going to end 6 weeks from now. It's probably not even going to end 5 months from now. And I want you to know that we're here to help you with your business through the whole entire time. So what do I mean by that? So right now, I'm going to talk to you about financials because this is what we're looking at. Where are you going to get the revenue or the income to sustain your business, to maintain your employees? What are the programs that are out there? What are the grant opportunities that are out there? What is it that you actually qualify for? That's one thing. But beyond that process, how is it that you're going to open your doors? How is it that you're going to continue getting customers coming in? We're also here beyond that process. So on a day-to-day basis, during regular times, we're here to help your business grow. That's what we do best. We're here to help you manage and operate your business successfully. So with everything that's going on today, I'm sure you have been bombarded, if not by not just us, but other organizations, if not the state, with so much information on the different programs that are out there, the different acts that have become law, what's true, what isn't true. You can go to so many sites to get that information. And one of the things that I do ask you to do is make sure that whatever site you're going to, it's a reputable one. Make sure that it's a site that is a governmental site. Look at the end, make sure it says .gov, that's where you're getting your information from. The government is constantly updating their information. Also, just because it's done on the federal level does not mean it applies to the state level. Yes, we have been declared a state of disaster, which means that disaster funds from SBA are applicable to the state of New Jersey. However, on the federal level, they said those that are self-employed are entitled to collect unemployment, not in the state of New Jersey. That has not changed. Unless you are an employee already of your company, the state of New Jersey is not going to give you unemployment. Based on what I've read so far, that has not changed. Can it change? Maybe. Have that happened yet? Not to my knowledge. So I will not give you misinformation. I will give you the information that I have, right? So again, who is it that you're getting the information from? We have some wonderful organizations in both Monmouth and Ocean County that are putting information constantly, updating their information, constantly giving you up to the minute based on the development of that information. Our particular center or network, I should say, the njsbdc.com is constantly updating their information on a daily basis. If you click on their bar on their website on top, it's a red bar on top, you could click on it and it's divided the information based on categories. So if you're looking for information regarding your employees, it's gonna have links regarding employee information, because that's one thing that we have been receiving a great deal about. And I wanna go back to one thing about the SBDC. The SBDC, if you become a client of ours, first, there's never any cost and everything we talk about is confidential. And I say that because we will be dealing with your finances in order to be able to assist you and help you complete the paperwork that you need in order to obtain the grants or loans that you are seeking. So then that'll be a constant reminder. So going into the recommendations in terms of what is it that you should be doing right now. How many of you, and I could do this by a show of hands, how many of you have been tracking your losses? Show of hands. Everybody's hand should be going up. I kid you not. You should be tracking your losses because you need that information. You're gonna apply for anything, you need to track that information. And don't think, I'm gonna go to the site and I'm gonna be able to fill out the application. You're gonna need information before you go to the application. And even when you go to the application, think of it as an outline where I think I have this information and oops, I still need to go back and get more information. So start tracking all your losses. You wanna also, in terms of record keeping, how good are your records? You're gonna have to prove some information to the government. You know, when the government is looking to assist those that are in business, they're not looking to assist those that their business were failing. They're looking to assist those that were having, you know, you were gonna have a decent year, you know, your year, you were gonna generate revenue. That's what they're looking to do. They're not looking, you know, this is not the time that when you start putting your narratives, and I'm telling you now, you will have to put a narrative together as to what you anticipate would have happened and what you project into the future for 2020. So understanding you need records in order to validate that. So your record keeping and your financials. So record keeping, bookkeeping. Are you guys up to date on that? Do you know what your financial situation is? Besides knowing that for the last 2 weeks, you know you didn't generate any revenue, and where is your business now without that revenue? You know, you need to go back and look at where were you last year for 2019 at this particular time, because at least that gives you historical information that this perhaps would have been, even if you did the same thing as last year, you can use that as a basis to project as to what would be happening this year. And you need that information. We know that the federal government gave us an extension on filing our tax returns, right? So we know that's gonna happen in July. As of today, and I tried doing a search before I got on and I wasn't able to find the information, but I knew as of last week, I listened to the governor. He comes on at 2 o'clock most of the time, and he does his daily speech. I do not recall him saying that they were extending it for the state of New Jersey. And again, I will go back and search just to make sure that I'm still on track with that. I believe today they were gonna make a decision on that. So as of today, I know that federal level, you don't have to file until July 15th, I believe. State, go ahead. I don't hear you.
I know I had to unmute myself. I just want to also let everyone know that we are going to be having on Thursday, April 16th, a CPA speaking to us. So further tax filing questions can be brought up on that.
That's fantastic. By then, he probably, well, it will be after the April 15th.
It will be, so hopefully we'll all know that, but you know, he'll have some more details on all these laws. So I'm sorry to interrupt you. Just want to let everybody
No. That's quite all right. One thing I do want you to know regarding sales tax, you still have to pay your sales tax. Anyone who was supposed to collect sales tax, you know, it's due by April 20th for this quarter. For the first quarter of 2020 is due by April 20th. You know, you have to file. So make sure you do so according to the state of New Jersey. That has not been postponed. So going back to your record keeping, make sure you have the documentation regarding your business on hand. Make sure you have your financial statements that you're going to need on hand. As I was saying, some of us have not, and I'm sure a great deal of us have not filed our 2019 taxes. That being said, have an idea of what your estimate revenue is for 2019. Because the tool that I'm going to give you, or that I'm going to mention to you, and I recommend you go through the process just to acclimate yourself as to what are the other things that they're going to ask you for, is requiring that information. Along with, it's going to ask you, what are your projections for 2020? And what are you going to use for those projections? And I highly recommend you use your 2019, because that gives you a historical basis as to what is it you were anticipating and making in 2020. This is not the time to say, I was expecting to increase my sales. You can't, you know, all you could go by now is, this is how much I was intending to make, right? And this is what my projected losses are gonna be because of this. So being able to say that. So going on to the tool that I'm talking about, that the state of New Jersey did, and I learned about it on Friday. I learned about the site that was put together, which I have to say, New Jersey did an outstanding job. They created a site. They got this individual who worked on the Obama administration, and Governor Murphy was able to bring her on board. And she's created this incredible website, this hub that really is capturing all the information. Now, that particular hub, you could find everything on her hub. Is the COVID-19 information hub. The tool that I'm talking about for businesses is the assistance.business.nj.gov. And I'll send this to you in an email, Jen, and you could forward it off to everybody just to make sure that everybody has the right link.
Okay, I'm getting ready to type it in also on the chat so everybody has it. It's assistant.
So do it and click to make sure that you got it right.
Okay. And also, are you talking about the covid19.nj.gov site?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And then there's the one that has all the information, the CV for businesses, cv.business.nj.gov. So now I'm going back to the tool, the assistant tool. And are you allowing me to share screen, Jen?
Yeah, you can share screen.
And where are you? I thought I brought it up. Can you guys just give me 1 second? I thought I had it up already when I was talking with, and I brought it down. So just bear with me. I thought I was totally prepared, but something else came up on my screen. So do bear with me. I just populated you. I thought I did.
have the COVID up. Is there something?
I got it. Yes. There we go. All right. So I just wanted to show you the screen, the wizard itself. And what I love about this particular wizard, the COVID Information Hub for businesses, is that not only does it take you through the programs that are available through NJEDA, it also takes you through the programs that are available through SBA. Now, with the programs through SBA, our particular network, since we are funded in part by SBA, we created a PowerPoint presentation that can help you through the whole loan application process. And the PowerPoint, I do have access to it. We had it up, but we had to take it back down because the SBA's website encountered some technical difficulties. So their online process had to change. So we created a new PowerPoint presentation, and that's going up now. But I do want to let you know that the SBDC is here to assist you throughout the whole process. You may encounter some problems or some questions, not necessarily a problem, but questions completing the application. You know, it could be anything as simple as that if you click anything, but that it's the economic injury disaster box, your application will be denied. It could be simple things like that, information that you're not 100% sure of. Give us a call. We will walk you through the process. Our consultants are, some are already well-versed in it. Others are getting are becoming very acclimated on it. But with this particular wizard, what I love about this wizard is, as you can see, it includes all the different support programs that are available. Here, as you can see, it talks about the grant programs, loan programs, the guaranteed programs, the entrepreneur support programs, and that one. The relief programs, then other federal programs, because the federal government, the SBA, gave money to NJEDA to give out to these organizations to provide funding at a lower interest rate. So the point here behind this particular wizard is to identify which programs are best suited for your particular situation. And that's key. Identifying what industry are you in and which program is best suited for you. They want to make sure there's no double dipping. So you want to make sure that doesn't happen. And you want to make sure which one should you be applying for. And we have to remember that these resources, they're not endless. So you do want to get into the pipeline as soon as possible. But you want to make sure that you are in the correct one. So by going through this tool, as you can see, first it's going to ask you basic information, and this is good for for-profit and nonprofit organization. It's going to ask you for documentation, location, because depending on the physical location of your business, if you're home-based or not, that has an indication. If you have employees, how many are full-time versus not, that has an indication. Industry, how many people, we're looking at retail, hospitality, right? Arts, entertainment, and recreation. And then there's other businesses that may or may not qualify. It's based on your NAICS code. How many people know their actual NAICS code? Right? So making sure that you know what category you fall under. So by answering all these questions, and if you don't know these answers, give us a call. We're here to help you. We're here to walk you through the process. Identifying how big your business is, all the questions I was talking about, revenue, do you know, your estimated revenue? You have to be able to put this in. Loans and guarantees. So information here. If you have any outstanding loans, how does that impact you being able to acquire another loan? Yeah. There's also with the CARE Act now that just came out, right? So that also has other implications as well. What are your best efforts did you make the best efforts not to furlough or lay off your individuals? How is that impacting your business? I mean, there was one question, which I'm happy that NJEDA answered it on their site. And it was, okay, if I'm applying for the grant in terms of employees, where you could get between 1,000 and 5,000, and grants are something you don't have to pay back. While 1,000 to 5,000 may not be a lot, the question is, at the time of application, you know, did you lay off your employees? So my question was, at the time of application, did that mean if I laid them off and I brought them back on? Or how do you define that question? So making sure that those questions were properly answered, and now you could go onto their website and acquire that information. So again, here information and the process keeps on going, and then these are your state programs. And what will happen with this particular tool is it's going to guide you into what program is available. It's going to guide you into what organization can assist you with completing the paperwork. And of course, with the financial institutions that are providing those lower interest loans, which ones are those and which one would work best in your interest. So it would keep on going from here, but as you're going through this whole, and I would recommend that you go through it and see how much of it you can actually answer and what questions are you coming up with, and see if you can answer them. Definitely give us a call and we'll walk you through it, because we've been putting it in ourselves just to see where is it that we get stumped? And if we're getting stumped, I'm sure that you're going to get stumped as well, because we know how to answer it, but do you? And it could be based on if it's a partnership, how much in terms of percentage and ownership, who has to complete everything, who has to show ownership within that company, who has to produce a guarantee. What is an affiliation? So there's a lot of questions that go along with that. And I'm happy to say that our consultants are able to assist with that as well.
Jackie, we have a question from John Mousseau. John,
Okay.
go ahead.
Hey, hey, Jackie, many small businesses have already let go of employees.
Mm-hmm.
So in that instance, do they, if they want to apply for something, they need to rehire them to then like?
Right, and that's the question. That was one of the questions, because based on that grant, it says at the time of application. So yes, they would have to rehire them before they apply for the application. Okay. That's based on what I read, and that was on, that was the cv.businessnewjersey.gov. And what it is a FAQ from NJEDA. So it's one of the answers there.
So they have to hire them back and hope they get the grant. And if they don't get it, then they have to let them go again.
Right, and I don't know how long the grant process is. So with that grant, maybe you're better off holding off until you're closer to opening, because then you have to maintain their employment for 6 months.
Gotcha.
So looking at those little nuances and saying, okay, what is in my best interest? We have to think strategically and say what is going to work best for my organization. And each organization is different. Yep. And that's why I recommend, I know that our anxiety levels are high, but we have to think strategically and say what's best for my organization. You know, and doing it on our own is one thing. Another, it's always good to have someone else that we can get feedback from, just to say, okay, does this sound right or not? Can we brainstorm on this? What is my best course of action?
Thank you.
You're welcome, John.
Okay. Jackie, do you want to give more topics, or you want to open up to all sorts of questions now? What's your goal, babe?
Open it up. I'm good. Okay. What do they want?
So do you guys know how to use the raise your hand thing? Yeah, when you're in the chat, click on your name, or when you're on participants, click on your name. The more gives you, no, how do you do it?
Well, they could do chat on the bottom. If they do,
they could chat on the bottom. They can also raise
the bottom of their Zoom. Take your cursor, and you see on the bottom, usually it's on the bottom. Yeah. You'll see that it says chat.
Mm-hmm.
and click on chat. And then to the right, your chat box should come up and you could type right into it.
So
Or come off speaker. You have options.
they can unmute themselves, right?
Hey, Jennifer, to get the raise your hand, go to
Yeah.
participants
Yeah.
and go to the bottom.
Oh, right, on the more button.
Yeah, and it says there's a raise hand feature. You can just click that, and it's another way instead of asking a question.
Okay, and I don't have that option because I'm the host.
Yep.
Okay, so they would have to. That's why I said chat.
I just raised my hand. Can you see?
Oh.
Yes, we do.
It's a new world we live in. That's why, it is. We have to keep on going at it.
I have two. Oh, there we go. Jessica Evans said, move the arrow to the bottom to reveal it. So if you can't see the black box on the bottom, do that. Or so now that we've, so
Okay.
Gretchen, I'm a bookkeeper. I have a client who opened a Pilates studio in September of 2019. If she doesn't have a long track record of earnings, would that immediately disqualify her from applying for loans?
No, nope. She's gonna have to actually, in the PowerPoint that we did, it's discussed. So who was that? Gretchen. I could
Gretchen.
definitely share that PowerPoint with you so you could see it for your other clients as well. My colleague, who's a financial guy and a wizard at explaining it way better than I can, he addressed it. That he said, as long as she has the documentation and she can show that she was making a profit, and she can put that in a narrative. And that's where a lot of the assistance is going to come in being able to put things in a narrative, because they do ask you that. They're not only looking at numbers, they want you to put things in a narrative. And within that narrative, it's saying, okay, this is what happened in 2019, and this is what I was expecting in 2020. And when you're writing that narrative, one of the things to bear in mind is, again, don't go into, I was expecting, a 5% increase. No, the narrative now it's going to be, I was hoping to make at least what I did in 2019. And now I'm projecting that my growth is going to be at a slower pace, because whatever, depending on the industry they're in, and let's go with restaurants. How many of us, well, except for me, because I just like eating out, are going to run to restaurants, right? So not too many of us, right? How many of us are going to go visit Dominic and go, yeah, purple glaze, I want my donuts, right? So not too many of us. So it's going to take time for our behavior to change and say, I feel comfortable being around crowds again. So it's going to take time before those businesses get the revenue coming back up again. So are we looking at 3 months? Probably more like 6 months. We're lucky. I mean, we're the Jersey Shores. You know how hard our businesses are going to be impacted? Anything that involves crowds. So when you're writing the narrative, keep that in mind and say, I was expecting this, but this is the reality of it. It's going to take me a little bit longer, but I do see the business coming back, because you don't want to paint the doom and gloom, but you want to say, because of this, this is the trajectory of how it's going to happen.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, Gretchen.
We have a question from Kevin McCormick. He said, when I was dealing with Hurricane Sandy, I went through this process, but since I had access to some lines of credit, I was declined after applying and waiting for over a month. Will the same situation apply here?
Well, with SBA, it's still a 21-day process. I know that, I don't know why he was denied credit.
He had some lines of credit available to him, so he was declined.
Oh, because he already had, okay. I see what he's saying. I know that when it first, when the disaster loan became available, there was a line that said that, but that was since taken off.
Okay.
So it said if you could get the credit from somewhere else, you are not entitled to the disaster loan. That has since been taken off, and it's no longer the case. So I would like to say no. What I've read, I'm always so hesitant because I don't want to
best of your knowledge.
Jackie said, and we have this on recording, based on the reading that the network has done, and we've done a lot of reading on this, because when it first came out, when the SBA loan process came out, that was on a press release, that's what it said. And then within a week later, that changed. So again, things keep on changing, Kevin. As of right now, today, 3:30, that's not the case. Will it be the same April 4th? I don't know, but as of right now, no. And from what I was told, everyone is entitled to apply for the SBA loan. No matter what your credit score is, the interest rate is 3.75, and that is for businesses. Nonprofit is 2.75, just in case any nonprofit is out there.
There's a couple of things I wanted to address, Jackie. The nonprofits, it's not every nonprofit. You need to read very carefully because certain nonprofits apply, certain don't. For example, the Chamber is a nonprofit, but it's a C6 and it doesn't apply to C6s.
Right, it's 501c3s, and Jennifer's correct. So read.
It's also C7s and other things. Like there's a whole lot, the number missing is 6, which is me, of course. The other thing I was wondering if you could address is, so they can apply for these SBA loans. Having to share a home office space with a loan officer from a bank. I am hearing a completely different side, and that is that people are being told they can go to their banks and get these loans through SBA as well. And the banks do not have all the guidelines yet to actually write those loans. So how can you?
Okay. Again, things are developing as we speak. We're going on an SBA call this afternoon.
Okay.
So right now, I can't offer you, your husband probably knows more than I do right now.
All I know is he has no hair left. He didn't have much to give back.
I was on a call with a client on Friday who enlightened me, and I'm like, what? I said, nope, don't have that information yet, but by today I did. Some things travel a lot faster than others. We try our best to get that information, but you're absolutely correct. I don't know the processes, to the extent what they mean by the acts, who's eligible, who's not. Those are the things that we're getting our handle on, because we want to make sure that when we provide you with the information, that it's accurate information. So I do ask that when you're dealing with us or any other organization, have patience with us. We are trying to get that information out to you as quickly as possible, and we want to be able to assist you in the process. And when we do, we're doing it because we vetted ourselves and we know that this is the process. This is what they want you to do. This is how they want you to answer. This is the documentation that you have to provide. And when they say, you can submit, they mean you must submit. Which is the interesting part, because my assistant director has been working with individuals, and she goes, I look at that loan application and I want to say, they should say must. Don't say you could, because you could means that, weeks down the road, they're going to go, oh, by the way, you didn't submit this. So now we're putting your application on hold until we receive this information from you. Complete it, the whole application, and submit it to them. According to SBA, it takes 21 days. Right now, I heard this morning that their customer service number, they're manning it 24/7 for the week. So if you need to call them and contact them, you can. And they are available and they are picking up, and you're getting a human being, not a machine. Just bear that in mind.
Any other questions that anybody has for Jackie?
Regarding programs, anything with our side, if you need our assistance. Gretchen, there goes Gretchen. She's waving her hand.
Wait, hold on, Gretchen. Let me unmute you. Hang on a second.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. Oh, nope.
All right.
There you
now I can talk. What do you know anything about rent? Like I've been told, do you know if there's a situation, is there any way that tenants can kind of work with their landlords and getting rent reductions or delays?
Okay, well, if you heard the governor speak last week, one of the things that they did come up with was that deferment. And it was mortgages were going into deferment. So if the landlord has asked for a deferment, the governor is expecting him to extend that to his renters.
Okay.
You know, this morning I received a call that someone was saying, you know, my landlord is not being cooperative. And according to the governor, they're expecting him to do so. Now, I don't know if that landlord asked for a deferment on his mortgage. I don't. But if he did, he's supposed to extend that to his renter. So my recommendation for that is Senator Gopal. His office is amazing in helping address that. Give them a call.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Jackie, we had a question about your SBDC presentation, your PowerPoint. You said you were going to send that to me so I could email it.
Yes.
Okay.
And I will do that.
We do have some people who have signed in via their telephone. We don't have their names. We don't have their email addresses. If they would like to reach out to me, director@emacc.org. And that way, when Jackie sends me that presentation, I can make sure that people who I have email addresses for will receive that.
Right. And along with that, I'll make sure that Jennifer has our contact information. Our office, like many offices, are operating virtually. So what do I mean by that? Either by phone or by Zoom conference or any other telecommunication technology or application, we are running our offices. So our offices are open. You can call our center's main number, which is 732-842. 842-8685. And that goes directly into Ernestine's number. So providing she's not on the phone, she'll pick up. But if not, she will return your call immediately. Or you could email us at mosbdc.com. Oh, no, sorry, mosbdc@brookdalecc.edu. That's an email address.
Okay.
So,
MOSBDC.
yes, at Brookdale.
.edu. Yeah, brookdalecc.edu. Okay.
Correct. So you can email us and we will definitely get back to you one way or the other. I do ask that you have a little patience with us. We are, feeling out calls as soon as they come in, as soon as possible. Just getting that information out there, just helping you to prepare, because one way or the other, you are going to try to seek some funding. You're going to try to find out what product or program is best suited for your particular situation. And if you're having difficulties identifying that, you need someone to talk to, we're here to do that as well. And if you are exhibiting some anxiety, like many of us have, and you just, sometimes you just need to talk something out with someone, we're here to do that as well regarding your business. Remember, anything we talk about is confidential. So we will assist you. Last week, before we got really into guiding individuals through the loan process, it was more about individuals venting, and we understand that. So we're here to assist you in any way we can. And because we are addressing so many situations, and so many situations are similar to each other, we're able to guide you in the process a lot quicker than perhaps some other organizations who are just getting involved in the process. So
I have two new questions. Eric Anderson asked, when do you anticipate the SBA rolling out the guidelines for the payroll protection program under the stimulus bill?
I will find out this afternoon. I don't know, Eric.
Okay.
I don't know. I know that actually I received an email just describing the CARE Act one, but that I don't know, and I don't want to comment on it until this afternoon.
And I did receive something about that over the last 2 days, Eric. I'm not sure if it answers your exact question, but on our website, we have the news releases on the left, right-hand side of our homepage. You may find information. I know I printed something a lot on the CARES program and another payroll thing from Linda Berry McCormick that they had sent.
Yeah, nobody has the, I have the press release from the Senate. I think they're just, I've spoken to bankers. They're just waiting to get the guidance. I think they have like 15 days to get that out, but I think everyone's kind of shooting in the wind right now.
Exactly.
So-
It's kind of like Yoda, patience be or teach you I will not. That's what everybody's got to remember.
And it's true. I mean, Eric, with SBA, we're waiting. You know, they send us a press release as soon as they find out, but we're waiting like everybody else.
Yeah, I know. 'Cause I've been following, I've had a lot of clients that have been heard about it, but you know, like anyone who tells you they're an expert in it is a liar right now because there's no guidance out.
Because there's
So,
nothing out there.
But everyone, and I mean, everyone can talk about the 30,000 foot level of it, but
But nothing at the granular level. Exactly. I mean, and that's why we take our time with the information that we're disseminating because it's constantly changing. When NJEDA came out with their program, I think last week on Thursday, it wasn't until this weekend that they were able to go, that I went back into their site and they had amended all the information. And I'm sure it was because of all the questions that came up from what they had posted on their site.
yeah, I know the SBA has a tab for this program, but you click on it and it has a 404 error for the website.
Lovely.
I know, that's not so pretty.
Oh.
So, again, and with, you know, technology, things are going to fail as we're moving through it. You know, they are,
Yep.
it's just part of it. We just need to be a little patient and know we're all going through it at the same time. One thing I do want to say that regarding the SBA loan, I do recommend that you apply for it even if you decide not to take the loan. And the reason I say this is get yourself in the pipeline. Because if you do not get yourself in the pipeline now, especially knowing what's going on with their site where you cannot do it online, there's not an online application anymore. You have to do a Dropbox, and they're saying that they are processing it in a timely fashion. It's still going to take time. Remember, that's a national program. That's not just New Jersey. So think about it, how many applications are being processed. You don't have to take their loan. No one says you have to take their loan. You know, it's an application. You could turn around and say, nope, that one is not going to work for me. I've gone through, you know, the tool that NJEDA put out, and I'm better off going through one of their programs versus SBA. So no to SBA, and I'll go that way. But remember, they say 21 days. I anticipate that taking a little longer.
Can I just add, Jennifer, do you mind if I just ask another question? Or
Go ahead.
what is your experience? Because I worked with clients who got SBA loans during Sandy, and that do you think that the restrictions will become more stringent as the program goes on? So would it be a little looser early on for people as opposed to 6 months from now applying for the same program?
Well, think of it this way, Eric. Remember, you were the one that put in that because there was a credit line.
That was Kevin McCormick.
Oh, sorry, wrong one. So that they had a credit line, and because they had a credit line, they couldn't apply for the loan. They reversed that for this.
Yep.
So again, I don't know.
Okay.
My
We're all winging it together. That's beautiful. I love it.
I can say, oh, they're going to make it tighter, and then they turn around and don't. I don't know. This is, you know, this is something we've never gone through, and it's national. It's not, Sandy was just certain regions. This is not just certain regions. This is national.
Yeah.
So,
Also, I think the national money sounds like a lot until you break it up to how many people are actually in the nation. So, you know, the funds are only so deep, the pockets are only so deep.
mhm.
We're already talking about a fourth stimulus bill. So,
So,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, because I mean, the money that they're offering now, when you come to look at it, is pretty much to try to help businesses for maybe 8 weeks. That's not going to cut it. Really? according to the news, well, we're in
Don't say it, Jackie, don't say it.
already how many weeks into this, right? So, I mean, just
Just keep that in mind.
Yes.
We have another
Very-
question.
Sure.
You mentioned an 800 number that was 24/7.
Oh,
Do you have that number and what that was for?
all right. 1 second. Let me get up Ernestine's email for you, because Ernestine, I have an amazing team. I have to tell you, people, and as terms of my SBDC team, these ladies are amazing. And hold on. Let's see. She gave it to me. Hold on. Just bear with me. I know she. You know what? It's probably easier if I just email her. Just 1 second.
Okay. And
And
what
I'll
was
get that- I'll get
the telephone line was for something not for you guys, not for SBC, right? Or was it SBC?
No, that the phone number I gave you, that's for our SBDC center office, but the 1-800 number that I want to give you is for SBA, which is the one that I was talking about that Ernestine informed me this morning. Hope she didn't go out for her walk yet. Also, I'll have to supply it later.
That can also come in your email if we have to do that.
Yes, if she's, because she does do her walk.
Smart woman.
Yes.
While we're waiting for Jackie to find that, I thought I would let you all know that we have a 4 o'clock program on this Thursday, April 2nd, again on Zoom. Same meeting number. It's going to be with Rachel DiVincenzo, who is a licensed social worker and MSW. She's going to be, it's a happy hour type thing, so bring a drink and some snacks for yourself. Join us all on video. But Rachel's extremely upbeat, positive, wonderful therapist who's going to give us some tips on taking care of our mental health during this. So not necessarily your business, but you, for your business, for your life, for everything. So please feel free to register for that as well and join us for that one at 4 o'clock this Thursday. Any luck yet, Jackie?
No, hold on. Yeah, no, I know I should not multitask. I keep on telling myself that. But no, wait, let it pop up again. and it will be coming one way or the other. One thing I will share with you guys, which I received the notice, and I don't know if how many of you have, and I will share that, and you can actually disseminate it if you choose to, Jen, and I'll forward that off to you, Jen. It's from the New Jersey Chamber of Commerce that they're having a meeting tomorrow.
I've
And-
gotten that. Yeah,
You got that?
their webinar meeting tomorrow.
Yes, so then you have it. So if you
I'll
want,
put that up on our news releases on our front page of our website as well.
okay, because I believe SBA will be on it as well. And I think
And I think
NJEA will be on it as well.
Yeah.
So if you want
30 tomorrow, I believe, right?
information, it'll be done tomorrow.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
So-
hopefully Ernestine will pop up with a message sooner than later, and then I could share that with you guys.
Okay.
That's-
Anybody in the meantime with any other questions for Jackie, or Jackie, any other information for everybody?
No, like I said, if you have a trusted source that is emailing you information, hold on to that. My thing is that I chose not to bombard you with an additional email from the SBDC, but what we are having is next week, we're going to start a series of webinars, just informational webinars, you know, how to continue to connect with your customers and, you know, resources and staying healthy during these times. But there'll be just 1 hour webinars and just something, you know, keep the mind sharp, keep your businesses going as best as you can, or what else can you be doing for your business during this time? You know, this is the time that you could start creating strategies for your business that you never thought you would have the opportunity to do so. You know, how to disconnect from your business. You know, I do a hard stop, I try to do a hard stop. Come 5 o'clock doesn't always happen, but I do try because then I'm not sleeping. So I need to do that for myself. So what is it that you're doing for yourself to, disconnect? Yeah. Thank God I have to eat floors, but that doesn't help either.
We've had a few people sign off already, so I think we're going to end. And then if you'll just send me that when you get it. People
Yeah.
saying thanks so much to Jackie and to EMAC for the guidance. And thank you, Jackie. That was really, really
Okay.
super helpful.
Great. And I'm still waiting. I haven't seen it, but as soon as I get it, I'll send it over to you. Thank you for having me, Jennifer. I so
Thank you.
appreciate the opportunity to connect and let everyone know. Just a reminder, we're always here. We've been here. We'll continue to be here to help the business community. Oh, I love your daughter, Kendra. When I see kids popping in.
It's coming in. So, all right. Well, thank you so much, Jackie. And we appreciate you being there for us.
Okay, always. Okay. Take care. Have a good one.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.